Good morning, good morning, good morning. Market just opened, as you can see, not looking great. $750 billion taken off the traditional market at opening. Uh, the futures were up close to 2%. So, figured it wasn't going to be great, all on the heels of Trump's big speech. Okay, I just wanted to check the feed there. Let me drop a little GM in the chat over there on X. All righty, yeah. A bloodbath as expected. Let's, Trump, all based on Trump's speech last night. Classic buy the rumor, sell the news. Trump did a pretty good job of laying out America's exit, but I think he opened up a bigger realization that the rest of the world needs to step up, and there's no plan, and oil shot up, and that's the cause of all this. But let's go. Let's see exactly how the market. You see the futures. This was before this snapshot. Before I refresh it, Nasdaq was looking to open down 197, the Dow down 139, and the S&P 154. Now 6 minutes into it, let's see where we actually ended up here. Okay. Yep, the Nasdaq as advertised down. No, that's still futures, I think. Let me refresh that just to make sure. Yep, Nasdaq down 1.9. Not as bad as it looked like it might. We'll see what happens, of course, over the next hour or two. We are on a Thursday. Tomorrow the market's closed for Good Friday. Is it Good Friday? Is that what it is? Yeah. So, 122 down to the minus on the Dow Jones, down 45,996. So down 4,000 and some change off its high, or even over its 50,000. But down 1.22% today. S&P, likewise, looks like it's down 1.38. Let's take a look at crypto here. Of course, you see mostly in the red. We got stable, which I don't know anything about stable, up 22% to number 67. But yeah, let's take a look here and see how we're doing. Bitcoin looks like we lost that 66,000. So hit a high yesterday, of course, after the show. We peaked up to 69,000. Now we're all the way down to 65,822. So down 3.7% for the day. Ethereum still holding over 2,000. We got a high of 2,162. Nice little pump leading into Trump's speech, but classic buy the rumor, sell the news, in my opinion, and some new. He did a good job of saying when we're going to be out, but I think the rest of the world realizes, okay, we're going to have an oil crisis. XRP, $1.28.3, down 5%. And Solana, I think even the biggest, taking the biggest hit, 77.02 off from a high yesterday of 86.46, down almost $10, officially 7.2%. And listen, we're sparking talk of, I'm hearing $48,000 Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at it on the hourly here too, just for fun. Yeah, so even a big drop with the opening. We're back looking at the daily. Here's the deal. We're still almost $6,000 off of the moving average, the 200-week moving average, right? So, we're still a ways before we need to start talking about sub $50,000 Bitcoin. But I think it's a coin toss. We are going into 4 days of, not including today. We got 4 days of without much of a catalyst, right? And some low volume. We could definitely see a push to the downside. I think it's a coin toss whether we hold. we've got this level, then we've got that low 60s, which we bounced off. This will be the fourth time if we do. And then we have that 200-week moving average, which will be pretty solid support. Yeah, we break down through that, then we can start talking about it. And we always know there's not a lot of catalysts, right? The catalysts right now are complete end of the war, Straits of Hormuz opening. Like I say, Trump pretty much laid a clear outline for us, but realized, hey, he's not going to be there because no one would help. People aren't even letting us fly out of their bases. So NATO's most likely toast in the so there is some unknowns, and there's a real oil crisis, right? You really can't have oil shoot up like it did. Let's look at some of the oil stuff. This was even before Brent crude way up over $1.10 a barrel, for 7% since Trump's speech. Regular crude, $1.08 a barrel, up 25% for the week, and $10 since Trump's speech. Let me see if I can look on my phone real quick and just see what regular crude is. By the way, gold and silver, dropping dramatically as well. See if I can see. Yeah, crude right now. Wow. Crude $1.1218, up 12.5%. So that's the problem, right? True oil crisis. So gold down 3.84% to 46.2840. Silver down to 68.38, down almost 12%, 11.87. So, oil, there's a real oil crisis now. It's not going to hit the U.S. as much because the U.S. has plenty of oil plus the Venezuelan oil, but the rest of the world, Asia, some and European nations, some of them only have weeks of supply left. So there's a big problem here, and no one seemed to want to stand up and address it. So Trump said, "You guys deal with it," basically. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna go with the coin toss. I'm gonna go with the coin toss if we can hold up over 60, up over that 200-week moving average. I think it's 50-50. Like I say, if we break down, we're going to feel some pressure over the next 3-4 days. And then Trump said he was going to continue to hit them. And obviously, look, if they did anything too radical, could take out Carg Island. You could take out their power plant. You could take out their desalination. You could literally cripple them in a morning, put them to where they'd have zero ability to do anything, right? But then that would create a humanitarian crisis. Like Trump said last night, it wouldn't give him much of a chance of coming back, and it would cut off Asia and Europe and everybody. That oil would go away. That's more of a crisis. I don't think he wants to do that, but U.S. has a clear exit 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see if anyone else steps up or how it plays out. Also, remember, we've got some strong ties, obviously, to the Gulf states there, and they're literally investing trillions of dollars in the U.S., so really good relationship there. So we'll see. Kind of unknown. I'm not feeling too bad about it. We'll see. We'll see if we can hold. There's a chance that just as Bitcoin's kind of performed better as everything else breaks down, there's a chance that Bitcoin kind of shines here, and we maintain. We've already outperformed everything else during this crisis. Now just barely after this last big drop this week, but let's see if that maintains. So I'm not so pessimistic, and I don't really care what happens. I'll just be buying more and holding more. It's not going to change the fact that Bitcoin's going to $1 million and then 2 million and then 3 million and so on and so on. Eventually, right? We're just talking about the near term. So I do think there's a potential, I guess there's not an overall resolution, and that's what's causing the problem. So yeah, markets are shaky. We knew that, and we were coming through a dangerous period of low volume and holidays. So I would say don't stress it too bad. Great time if you have dry powder to buy some more. If you're out there mining fiat, that's great. If you're not, you might just have to hold on and get out there and touch some grass and don't pay too much attention. On the good news, Coinbase CLO said progress on the Clarity Act could come within 48 hours. I'm very confident we're going to see progress. So that's Coinbase, who's been one of the prime opponents of this, not of the bill itself, but of how it's being handled and how the bank's trying to take stuff out. So, look, I believe that that is a big catalyst when that happens. It kind of needs to happen. A lot of talk out there, the petrodollar. Oh, Iran's taking money in yuan, and whatever. You know, they're the petrodollars. No, the dollar's stronger than ever. If you haven't noticed, we have tons of oil. Everyone's going to be replenishing all their missiles and defense systems. This could be good for the U.S. And we have a ton of oil, which will now be, and we have the Venezuelan oil we're partnered up with. So we'll be able to do fine and possibly make a lot of money. But anyway, we'll see how this plays out. The uncertainty, it puts us where we are today. But I'm not necessarily calling for $50,000 Bitcoin, but I'm also not calling for $80,000 Bitcoin. Kind of have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, we had the whole quantum FUD thing, right? We had that whole quantum FUD thing. Brian Armstrong said that he's personally going to be working on that. Same message we got from Michael Saylor a few weeks ago. Now, listen, here's what I'd say. This thing could be the real problem threat could be decades away or whatever. But you see, like I told you, they did this week. They're gonna recycle this quantum FUD from time to time and crash the market. So we need a distinct answer. It's done. It's handled. We're good. We have a plan. Don't worry about it. Right? We can't just, otherwise the same thing will happen. Everyone panics. And then the dust settles and we're back just like I told you what happened this time. But we do need a solution. And I think it's good that everyone's working on this. Be nice if we have a definitive plan. A lot of it's hard because a lot of this is theoretical, right? So a theoretical solution to a theoretical problem that doesn't even exist yet. Even the hardware doesn't exist. So anyway, but they do need to get ahead of it. And I hats off to Brian Armstrong and everyone who's working on it. Japan's Metaplanet. We talked last week, I believe. They'd done this big raise. How great for them. They just bought 5,075 Bitcoin worth 338 million. They're now the third largest treasury company in the world. Shout out to Metaplanet. I think you guys need to realize Metaplanet started out with like a 10, 12, 14, 15 million dollar market cap. Now I believe they're in the billions. So, they've done an excellent job, and they've been definitely modeling it after Saylor, and applaud them for what they're doing. All of them aren't faring so well as we knew they wouldn't, but these guys are buying the dip, and they're going to be massively rewarded. Amazon is hiring crypto professionals for $500,000 up to $500,000 a year per salary. All the big boys are coming in, man. If you're in a crypto expert, you might need to start applying for some of these jobs. This was trillions of yen. I don't even know. I don't know what the conversion is right now to the Korean currency. But yeah, they took a huge hit, as did all the Asian exchanges. Listen, this isn't comfortable. We don't like this, but it is what it is. Macron, the head of France, said military operation to open the Straits of Hormuz is unrealistic. He's given up before he's even tried. Meanwhile, they're out of jet fuel, out of diesel fuel, and running out of fuel fast. So they're just very ill prepared. So, and he's already given up. Oh, there's no way to open it. Yes, there is. Give me a break. But anyway, they need to step up. They weren't willing to help Trump. Now Trump's putting it back on them. The Bitcoin Policy Institute says Taiwan should build a Bitcoin reserve to hedge against global turmoil and the risk of war. So great if Taiwan, very vibrant economy there. I'd love to see them jump on the Bitcoin standard. So this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Every day, if you're watching the show, pay any kind of attention. Every day we have massive, massive tailwinds coming up. For all we have to do is figure out a way to buy Bitcoin and other quality assets if you choose. It's just simple. Buy Bitcoin and then hold it. Are you actively working on how you can buy Bitcoin, how you can get more, get a second job, cut back on some expenses? Like the Bitcoin conference coming up the end of the month. A lot of people are thinking, should I go? Because the question is, should I go and spend a few $1,000s, or should I put that money into Bitcoin? Fair game. It's great when you go there. You make some great contacts. You get hyped up. Really helps build your belief level. But is that money better spent just putting in Bitcoin because it's so low? But it's happening, and you need to be, your strategy needs to be buy. This is crazy. Goofball, greaseball Gavin Newsom just passed a bill to seize Bitcoin left idle on exchanges. After 3 years of inactivity, assets can be taken by the state under unclaimed property laws. Not cool, man. You've heard the term "not your Bitcoin," not your keys, not your coins, right? So maybe this is the time to take the time to learn how to self-custody. And I believe you can see some exchanges just quit working in California. Looking to steal people's Bitcoin to pay for all their corruption. They're bankrupt because of their policies. This is good news, and I think great. Gulf states now actively planning a new oil pipeline to bypass the Straits of Hormuz. Saudi's east-west pipeline already carrying 7 million barrels a day to the Red Sea. So they're looking at maybe expanding that. I think that'd be a great idea. I like to see the extra option. Chinese Foreign Ministry says the root cause of the Straits of Hormuz crisis is illegal military operation against Iran. And they're starting to come out and call out America and Israel, talking a little. They've kind of been sitting back pretty silent, but part of this is, don't push too hard. Trump could literally take out all of Iran's oil capability, and China would be in really crisis then. So part of leaving that infrastructure there is part of, not to piss off China or not to put them too bad of a situation. But anyway, Trump's playing the global 4D chess, but they are starting to speak out against us. Our guy, I like Charles Hoskinson, not a big fan of Cardano. It seemed to really turn into an academic experiment. Just doesn't have many users, right? Just hasn't gained adoption. Probably a great blockchain, to be honest with you. And I made a lot of money. One of my most hopefuls, Charles Hoskinson, of course, being one of the original founders of Ethereum. I had a lot of belief in Cardano early on, but he's now officially launched Midnight, which is a privacy-focused layer 1 using zero-knowledge proofs and dual token model, Night and Dust, to enable confidential yet compliant transactions. Their ticker, of course, being what happened to it? Somehow put it down here at the bottom. Okay, sorry, I wanted to go here. Bitcoin dropping further. Let's look. Oh no, it's come back. Oh no, it came back. Sorry. Oh, we dipped down and it regained the 66,000. So cool. Here it is, Night. Sitting in number ranked 66 in the top 100, up 5% today with a market cap of about $750 million. So that is the Midnight token. I don't know much about it. I like Charles. I really like Charles. I think he's one of the good guys in the space. Super smart dude. It's like talking to Wikipedia, super smart guy. I like him. He knows the space. Interesting. I'm probably more bullish about Midnight than I am about Cardano. I'll tell you that. Just because it hasn't got much adoption. So the thing is, privacy will be an issue. If it's privacy yet compliant, that's why people maybe don't like Monero, right? It's always private, where some of the others you can turn it on and off if it needs to be compliant for exchanges and stuff that need to be able to report where it's going. They can't for AML, money laundering laws and stuff. They can't just send privacy tokens. So it needs to be compliant with the laws and stuff, which usually means you can turn it on and off, the privacy thing. $2 trillion Franklin Templeton just announced it is launching a new Bitcoin and crypto division. It will hire hundreds of staff to target trillions in pensions and sovereign money. So once again, another opportunity potentially for people that understand crypto, but it shows these guys are taking it serious. I was talking last night with a gentleman recently retired, kind of a big shot, traveled all over the world. We were talking about Dubai and the Middle East and everything. He was in the financial industries at a very high level. We're talking about, and he's like, yeah, people just, my industry just don't understand it. They just don't get it. And so it's early, man. It's early. That's why I say time to buy, man. The end game is the thing is used to hear he who dies with the most toys wins, that bumper sticker, that t-shirt, right? He who dies with the most Bitcoin wins. Your goal, your primary goal should be getting as much Bitcoin. Everything you should be doing should ultimately be to buy as much Bitcoin and stack as much Bitcoin. And maybe the answer is just buying Bitcoin, not trying to buy something else and make money and put it in Bitcoin. Bitcoin and crypto exchange backed by Citadel Securities applied to be a national trust banks. Crypto exchange are becoming banks. Banks are selling crypto. There's a merging. There's a meeting in the middle of there. That's always how it is. It's never just, overnight goes one way or another. European diesel futures approach $200 per barrel as war disrupts supply. So they're going to have to man up and do something or whatever. All they needed to do is just support Trump in the slightest ways, and they weren't willing to do that. So that's why we're where we are today. Ethereum network activity is near all-time highs, 788,000 daily active addresses. I don't know about this 255,000 new addresses created daily. That would, that doesn't seem right. But it is network is traffic all-time high. Still way off of that of Solana and stuff like that. But Ethereum's not going away. Ethereum's doing pretty good, and they just need to improve the tech as well. I think it'll continue to do well. Last but not least, I thought, hold on a second, let me see here. Oh, yeah, that was Trump opened a 60-day comment on the Genius Act stablecoin rules. So, but anyway, this was funny. He came out. And by the way, the rocket took off and the toilet broke, and luckily they were able to get it fixed. So, going around the moon. Doing the things. So some people think it's to distract. I tell you, it really makes me think we never did land on the moon. If these guys can't land on the moon today, they're just going to circle it. But anyway, Trump came out against Bruce Springsteen. I had to read this. I think it's funny. Bad and boring singer Bruce Springsteen, who looks like a dried up prune, who has suffered greatly from the work of a really bad plastic surgeon, has long had a horrible and incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. The guy is a total loser who spews hate against a president who won a landslide election, including the popular vote, all 7 swing states and 86% of the counties across America. Under Sleepy Joe and the Dems, our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country by far anywhere in the world. MAGA should boycott his overpriced concert, which suck. Save your hard-earned money. America's back. President Donald J. Trump. Classic mean tweeting. Well, look, let's take a final look here at the markets. Let's just refresh the S&P. We'll look, see if we're rebounding or getting worse. Looks like Bitcoin's rebounding a little, so let's see what the stock market. Okay, yeah, NASDAQ down 125, Dow 95, S&P 86, a little bit of recovery. And we just looked at Bitcoin, 66, 137. So up 0.2 since we started the show. Ethereum, 2035, XRP, 128, Solana, 77.83. Let's look at that hourly chart on Solana. It's well, yeah, got all the way down to 76, and it's coming back a little, still down a massive 5.9%. But listen, look, we'll come back tomorrow, see where we are. Yeah, not a great position, but I'm going to give it a coin toss if we really break down really low or we stay here. I think Bitcoin, been a little bit resilient. I think it maybe continue to do so. Appreciate everyone joining me live on YouTube and X, and feel free to join me on the Bitcoin or opening bell. Or, can't keep track of all my shows. GM Bitcoin morning show today. We got Enzo, our longtime host. He got a new job after finishing his master's degree, and was only here Thursday and Friday. He should have some good insight. Join me over there. Other than that, have a good day. We'll see where we are. We'll check back tomorrow, let you know what's happening. I think maybe we kind of go sideways a little bit. I don't know that we're going to dip, but we might. We always take that into consideration.